Yeah, good afternoon, good evening, good morning to you all. This is me, your brother, your friend, Human is Steven right here on the show tonight. And it's going to be a very blessed night. It's going to be a very wonderful night. We're going to have a lot we're going to talk about today on politics today with Human Steven. I'm going to have a lot. We're going to talk about a lot of things. We're going to talk about, let me itemize it. The Edo State Town Hall meeting on anti-grazing law. We're going to talk about that a little bit today. I'm going to talk about four army officers fear kid on the Benin Auchi Road. That was deep yesterday. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the Femi Farotimi and the 1999 Constitution. We're going to talk about the car theft that happened at Peanut Junction in Benin, how an Igbo guy opened the car in a very magical way. Today I will also talk about the apology of MC Jollof to the paramount ruler of Warri Kingdom, the Ogiamen the second. Atarashi the Ogiamen the second. We're going to talk about that also. We're going to talk about the Nigeria 2022 budget and other issues in Nigeria. Okay, guys. It's going to be a lot of discussion today, and I wanted us to glue to your TV set, to your phones, and to your laptop. If this is your first time of watching us right here on this channel, I want to just subscribe to Nigeria Watch YouTube, please, guys. Subscribe to Nigeria Watch YouTube, and don't forget to press the notification button. And if you do that, you just press the all, so that that bell icon, press the bell icon and press all, so that every time we are on live, you get a notification. So you'll be among the first to join us on our live interview. If you follow me on Facebook, please follow me on Matter Rising with Human Steven, United States, Southern Nigeria, and my personal private page, ADM Mentor Steven, to also get the Obonga news on this very particular newscast. So right now, let me just quickly share. Please, as you are doing that, just share your video. Please share your video while we will wait for others to join us. Thank you, guys. Yeah, thank you guys for joining us today. Please just share this video, give us some likes. Let's welcome people in. We can share it to our group WhatsApp group. Please share it to WhatsApp group, share it to messengers, send it to people on every network. We're going to talk about a lot of things today, and I believe that God will help us as we analyze some of these things that is actually affecting us in our society. The first news I have today is four army officers fear killed on Benin Auchi Road. I think that was on Sunday. So this actually happened on Sunday. Four army officers were killed. There was a story that I heard that the kidnappers actually came out. Sorry, guys. The kidnappers actually came out and kidnapped, some passengers that were coming, and one of the passengers was the wife of an army officer. I'm going to read that for you. I'm going to talk about it a little bit, and then we're going to merge it with the problem we're having today in Edo concerning the open grazing and the law that we need to have enacted as of today. Four army officers fear killed yesterday on Benin Auchi Road in an attempt to rescue wife of a colleague from the hands of the kidnappers. Okay? So when I was talking today during the open grazing show that we just finished watching, on Nigeria's YouTube, many people were saying I was being emotional. Okay? People don't understand what is the difference between emotional and being realistic. You guys, that's the problem. We don't actually know what is different between being emotional and being, realistic. Okay? These four army officers got killed because of the insecurity caused by these kidnappers parading as herders. Like I said during that show right now, the only way we can be able to differentiate these two is to enact a very workable law. To not differentiate the bad from the good. People to not know who are actually the perpetrator of the hilarious crime that has enveloped our state, particularly on our highways. According to the report, the wife of an army officer, along with some other persons, were kidnapped along the Benin Auchi Road, and the kidnapper demanded the sum of 10 million naira from one of the victims, who happens to be a Christian brother. On their way to pay over 1 million naira that they were able to raise, it was learned that army were already in the forest to rescue the wife of the top army officer, prompting the guy with the ransom for one of the victims to hold back. The kidnappers, who became aware of this development, were said to have engaged in gun battle with the army, leading to the death of 4 military men, while the soldier killed a number of the gang and arrested one of them. Last night, the army officer reinforced went back to search the forest and rescue the victim. At the time of this report, it was not clear whether the rescue mission was successful. Okay? Now, the kidnappers, which we all know, as actually taking siege of the Benin Auchi Road, intercepted a vehicle, kidnapped a lot of people. Unfortunately, one of the victims was the wife of a senior military officer. So when he heard of that, he actually sent his boys on a rescue operation. But unfortunately, 4 of the armies lost their lives while rescuing the woman. I'm going to say 2 things on that. I'm not against the woman being rescued, but there have been a lot and a lot of innocent, unknown Nigerians who have been kidnapped, but nobody had ever come out to fight for them. Yeah, there's a breaking news right now. There is a breaking news right now, guys. There's a breaking right now. Curtis Egosawobo have been arrested and detained at AIG Zone 5 for involvement in the Olombo communal crisis. His other accomplices are currently on the run. He is to be charged to court tomorrow for breach of peace and other related offences against the state. This is just a breaking news right now. Comrade Curtis Egosawobo had been arrested by the Nigerian police and is right now being detained at the AIG Zone 5 for the involvement in the Lobo communal crisis. You just saw the one that we actually showed on our channel this morning, where our brother Emmanuel Bogo actually went to cover. So today, Kosuba will be arrested, and other people that were involved in that crisis are started running away. Okay, there's another breaking news again. The Nigerian actor Chiwetalago have been flown to Abuja by the DSS, and they have been denied his family members from seeing him. Guys, that's just the two breaking news right now. Kosubo under his invitation, and Chiwetalago have been flown to Abuja by the DSS. Okay, guys. Now, when these guys were trying to actually rescue the woman, they lost 4 men to these bandits or this kidnapper, whatever name they ought to be called. This is what we have been fighting for, that when there is no law, it becomes a little bit difficult to separate the shafts from the grains. It becomes very, very difficult for you to separate the shafts from the grains. Until the government of Nigeria and Edo State do the needful, we'll continue to hear stories of such that breaks our heart and make us weep as a people. Okay, guys? You get me now? So this continuous kidnapping on our route is enough for the people or for the government of the state to take a proactive measure in securing lives and properties of the Edo people. This is not to pay the government bad in any form, because he is doing his best in other areas. But in the area of security, I think the government is not living up to expectation. So it's a wonderful idea for him to have created the neighborhood watch known as Vigilante, but he has not been able to make proper good use of this Vigilante in as far as insecurity is actually concerned in the state. Like most of us would have advised him, why not do this? Employ some other security personnel like the militaries, the soldiers, the police, the civil defense, and add them with the vigilante, because the vigilante also know the terrain of where they live. That would have helped in reducing this continuous kidnapping on our roads. Okay, guys, this is very, very important. If the government can be able to do this, it will give room for development and peace in our state. It will also reduce the tension that is boiling today in Edo State as a result of the inability of the government to enact a law on the ban on open grazing. Because what we are requesting for is to safeguard the lives and properties of Edo people. Many people would think, Human Steven is quite a little bit emotional. Maybe Human Steven doesn't like Obaseki anymore. If humanism is not because this, because that. Come on, guys. I am a humanist. I believe in the sanctity of lives. I believe in justice, equity, and fairness. I believe in doing things the right way that it ought to have been done. Having buttressed all these points, my take on yesterday's town hall meeting on anti-open grazing is straight and clear. The government of Inoira Basaki has not actually taken the stand on what he ought to do, not how to do it. Okay? People were saying, oh, the palace is actually the problem. On what you ought to do, not how. You can ask on how to execute that project. With the body language of today, in that meeting, both from the traditional institutions and the political institutions, it is a clear signal that the Enigis and the governor are not actually ready to enact a law as of today. And this, we have a boomerang side effect on the Nigerian state. Because the moment the enforcement of this open grazing is now being carried out by other states surrounding us, most of these elders will have no other choice than to move into their safe haven where they can have peace and what may to perpetrate their evil. And so at that time, it is too late to cry when the head is off. Many people will say, come on, guy, you actually destroying this man because you couldn't get what you expected from him. That's all right. That's all right, guys. But the truth of the matter is this: I'm not against him because of anything. I'm not even against him at all. But I'm here to actually tell us the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Some of us are living, some of us are living abroad for quite some time. We have not actually gone home to see how home looks like. So because of that, we are free to say whatever we think is workable for us. We are free to say whatever we think is beneficiary to us. We just continue saying that for our own consumption, not for the total consumption or for the total being of the ordinary man. The reason for the agitation of the open grazing is actually to create a very well articulated plan on how to make our society safe to live in. Like we all know, there's going to be a lot of meetings upon meetings, like I said today. So we don't actually know what he intended doing. How long is it going to take him to put the plans together before he cannot prepare a bill that we send to the Senators of Assembly? Before they will not sit down, look at the bills, cross all the T's, and dot all the I's. Before they will not take it to the first, second, and the third reading. Before that, do deliberation. Before they will not say into the committees, and then before they will not take it back to the governor to assent his signature. This, I'm sure, is a process that's going to take months, if not mistaken. And as of today, the 12th day of October, we've not gotten a bill yet. It is now we are now putting up a stakeholder meeting towards actualizing a bill. And with what happened yesterday, there is no conclusion on the way we ought to go. So we are still waiting to see how much is going to come in when they would have sat down to have a discussion in the next 2 weeks. But if anybody feels that humanity is emotional, I don't really know what to say, guys. Just really, I don't know what to say. Like I said the other day, I'm not going to talk about Obaseki again, but my mind can just keep quiet because the people are my major priority. They can't just keep me quiet. I must continue talking. I must continue educating the people. That is the job of a humanist. One who does everything to make sure that the people are being protected, that the people are being respected, that the people's lives and property, because the priority of any government. Okay, guys. Like I said, I'm not going to talk so much on Obaseki today because it's not actually why I'm here. Now, you guys have to be very careful with your cars. Watch this video. You guys have to be very careful with your cars. Very careful with your cars, guys. Just watch what this boy did. This is very, very important. To be very, very. This happened at Peanut Junction. You know, when you're going towards Warri side. I think before first Obe, you know, Peanut is on the on the left hand side. You're going towards Warri. So this was what happened at Peanut Junction. A car was parked, and this boy went into the car and opened the car. So be careful when you park your car. Do not leave your gadgets, your bags exposed, believing that you've locked your cars. There are people today who are the masters, the master case in opening any car. Just watch this young boy as he opens this car right now. So be careful. I brought this into our news for us to be very, very careful on how we actually do, particularly when we get home. You know, some of us we just leave our phones on the charger. I've done it several times. I've been a victim of that several times. You know, I'll just leave my phone, you know, on the charger head. Okay, I'll just leave my phone on the charger head, and while I leave my phone on the charger head there, I will just lock the door of my car. I will just walk away. I've done that several times. So when I watched this video, I said, no, this one, we need to inform our people that when we are home, we have to be very, very careful. Do not expose any of those things that you know will attract these criminals to your car. Just that will give us a careful. What's that side?
Wait. Then finish your work. Now carry the bag down.
Let me play back again. Just watch him.
Oh boy.
You just left it. Go do it again now. What's that side?
Wait. Then finish your work. Now carry the bag down. You don't want to carry out. Go inside with carry the bag. No, I can finish.
You see why was I started to the car? because there was a bag that was left on the front seat by the owner of the car. That attracted him. Okay, that's why, guys, you need to be careful. When you are home, whether if you live in Nigeria, please always try to keep your bag safe. Your phone should be in your pocket, or you put your phone in your PGO on the driver's side. I mean, on the passenger side of your car, or you put it down under your footmat, so it will not be visible to these criminals. What actually attract them to your car is what they saw inside the car. So what they saw inside the car will give them, this belief that, oh, yes, so we go to, there's something there, and they will do everything to come to your car. You see how you open the car so well, and if he had gone, nobody caught him, nobody would have known that such a thing actually happened. The woman would have been wondering what happened to the bag that she left in the car. Okay, guys, so let's just continue. I hear you talk.
Where do you live? Bypass. Do you live alone? With your sister. Then who is your gang? Tell me your name, remember? Yes. Please. But you have been doing it with you before.
So, guys, I want to appeal to you right now. Be careful when you are in your car. Also, be careful when you are on the traffic. Try as much as possible to put your telephone, if you don't have an earphone. So we will always encourage you to always use an earphone when you are on your steering. Okay? If you don't have an earphone, I will encourage you to always put your phone on your right hand side, not on your left. I heard of a news of an accident that happened along Benin Auchi Road some few days ago. It was these boys who were actually snatching a phone. The guy who had a phone on his left ear, he was using the right hand side to actually drive, and the guy wanted to take the phone. He had, at the point of him trying to drag the phone with the guy, he lost control. But thank God, it was not on the speed; it was on the traffic. So the damage was not that severe. Okay, guys, let's try as much as possible to be very careful where we park our cars, how we expose our properties that are in the car. Let's do everything to make sure that we keep them safe because of people like this guy who are not professional armed robbers that can go into any vehicle and actually unlock it, rob you, and lock it back. Before they break your windscreen. But now they now have a master key, how they can open your door to your vehicle without you even knowing what has transpired in that place. Okay, guys, I want to just continue.
So you just do every your clear for you. Abi? So how do you feel now? You're feeling bad. No, are you sure? What is your advice for your friends out there that be doing this thing? What is your advice? Let's stop on. Okay. Thank you. Do you know the owner of this bus? I mean this car? You don't know. But you're on to thief. Abi? So the first one that you did here, you snatch any car, only the purse, and you succeed. How much?
Only
12,000 naira inside that one. But you succeed. But this one call.
Thank you very much. God bless you.
So guys, please be careful where you are there. Don't leave. Some people leave money, some people just throw money into your PGO. Some people leave money on that small place where you might put your water or your drink, in their car. That doesn't show wealth. Rather, you are exposing yourself and your property to destruction by these people. Okay, guys? That's why you don't need to. And the truth of the matter is this. I'm going to say this before I continue to the next video. The truth of the matter is this, guys. Having so much cash with you in a country whereby you now have POS and ATM machine everywhere is useless. I'm going to say it again, guys. You drive and you are carrying so much cash on you, even if you don't drive, you carry so much cash on your wallet, it's useless. In this time and age, whereby POS is in every corner, ATM machines is practically everywhere in the state. I will encourage you for us to reduce the crime in our society. We must reduce the volume of cash that we normally carry. If we can reduce the volume of cash that we normally carry, there's a possibility that we're going to reduce the crime rate, particularly this theft, in or within our society, guys. Okay? Another one I want to play again. I'm just going to play the ones just like a side talk before I go to the main one. Is this man, MC Jollof begged for forgiveness from the king of Warri, Achewashe Ogiamen II. So we're going to help you to publicate, to publish or to advertise this plea that he's doing, so that His Royal Majesty we see reasons to forgive him on everything or anything that he has done to the kingdom of the Shekiri people, guys. So once you just listen to this plead, I'm going to continue. This is just a main plead. So nothing to analyze there, nothing to talk about. But I just wanted to help him share this very particular, information, so that it can go viral. It can get to the king of Warri, the Olu of Warri. Okay, Ogiamen II, guys. So just listen to this.
To His Majesty, the paramount ruler in Warri Kingdom, Ogiamen Atuashe III, the Olu of Warri. The 6th day of October 2021, I made a publication. The topic was on how we can strive for peace in Warri Kingdom, but it was totally out of place and not properly constructed, of which I admit. It became an insult to the sons and daughters in Warri Kingdom. I accept my mistake and I seek for the forgiveness of the authority in Warri Kingdom, and also the forgiveness from the sons and daughters in Warri Kingdom. Silver and gold I have none, but all I ask for is for your forgiveness. Ogiamen, for mercy, forgive me. Our daughters, forgive me. Our mothers, forgive me. Our fathers, forgive me. Sons, forgive me. All I preach for that peace. And that peace, we go embrace ourselves and we go achieve what.
So that was just the pleading from MC Jollof to the Olu of Warri over some publication he made on the 6th of October this year that didn't actually go down well with the people. So he has come to say, please forgive you. And we are joining hands to say, please, His Royal Majesty the Olu of Warri, to have mercy on your subject and forgive him of any wrong that he had done to you. Now, being a father, being a king, is the ability for you to have mercy on your subject who have actually realizes that they have done something against your person. As a learned, well-traveled, well-cultured, educated man who has also lived abroad knows that your throne, your position is to better the laws of your people. That's why we are joining hands with MC Jollof to say we are pleading on his behalf, all these Shekiri people, in whatever way that your son, MC Jollof, had gone wrong in his approach to the topic that he brought up. We're asking that on his behalf, Lord, show mercy upon him and take him back as your own. That's the plea we are pleading today. Show mercy upon him and accept him back. Thank you very much, your great, your Highness, the Olu of Warri, the Ogiamen the second. Now, the another thing I'm going to talk about is going to also take us to the next one is this video. Benin Farotimi and the 1999 Constitution. I love this. But also look at this very critically. Those of you who are clamoring for 2023, and if you see the menace we are having today in our nation, it's actually arising from this constitution. See this guy, how he has explained it so clearly in this interview that he had on Arise News. So this very video is dedicated to Arise TV. Okay, guys? So let's look at this news carefully. Then we're going to analyze it as the news goes. Then before we now go to the Nigerian budget of 2022, which is going to be the bomb of tonight, guys. Let's listen to this.
Nigeria is a fool. Line 20 Dele Farotimi up and ask them to become president of Nigeria. 20 of me, 20. Multiply their brain power by 10, factor of 10, and then force them to operate the 1999 Constitution with the governance system that is enshrined in it. We shall fail spectacularly. The problem.
See that now? This is where I expected some of these people who we think to be, who call themselves the people's voice. This is where I expected to see people who call themselves comrades, both in the north and in the south, to have said, okay, the problem of Nigeria backwardness is as a result of the porous. It's as a result of the porous. It's as a result of the porous. As a result of the porous constitution of Nigeria. Like many of us have said in many of our shows, that the 1999 constitution is a problem of Nigerians today. This is a guy we all know is very vast in constitutional law. And here he's trying to say, if you like, take his type. Take his type. Take his type 20, multiply their capacity by 10, and ask them to operate in this 1999 constitution that will fail woefully. So I don't know why most of our leaders, that's why when I talk, they say, this guy is very emotional. When you know that this thing is not working at all, because this thing has so much arrogated power to these people, they do not want to lose out of the power that this fake constitution gives to them. That's a problem. Because the constitution has given them so much power, they are holding on to that power so stiff. They do not want to change it because they know the people's constitution will reduce the amount of power that they possess today. So they don't actually care if the nation is moving on or not. For example, many of us praise Peter Obi. Many of us praise Peter Obi. But today, yesterday I saw on the Pandora paper that Peter Obi actually have a company offshore that he never declared in his asset. So you see, who are we going to trust? Who are we going to trust? Who are we going to trust? Because there's so much power that was given to these elective, officials in the 1910 Constitution is so much enormous that there's nothing we can do as a nation to be able to survive or progress if we continually operate on that very particular constitution. You hear what he said? Let's
The problem
continue.
of Nigeria can never be resolved by personnel changes. The system is designed with impunity undergirding it. And
See, the problem of Nigeria can never be changed by personnel changing. So that means, if you like, no wonder when Ngozi came to Nigeria, she failed. She couldn't do anything under pastoral regime. Because the system is already programmed to fail by the people who put together that very particular document called the 1999 Constitution, based on Dele's explanation. Let's continue, guys.
it can never deliver anything positive to the Nigerian peoples, be those Yoruba, Hausa, Igbo, Fulani, whatever they care to be. Make an Igbo man president of Nigeria in 2023 and force him to operate the 1999 Constitution. Complete waste of time. Indi Igbo will continue to suffer the brunt of the wickedness of the Nigerian state.
You see that now? It's just being realistic now. Say, if you like, if you want, get an Igbo president in 2023 and force the guy to operate the same constitution. Say, the Igbos will continue to cry. We are demanding for a national conference or a national dialogue in order for us to now make the people's constitution. People think we don't know what we are doing. This is a guy we know is very vast in the law. He's telling you today it doesn't matter who is going to be on that seat. The same thing with the governors. That is why from 1999, the states in Nigeria have never progressed. We are moving backwards instead of moving forward. Why? The constitution does not give us that platform for progress. The constitution is a failed one. It was actually designed for some few individuals, not for the generality of the people. So it doesn't matter who is there. It doesn't matter how intelligent the man will be. If George Bush, if Donald Trump, Joe Biden, Barack Obama, all put together, comes to Nigeria to operate this same constitution, they will fail. That is what he's talking about now.
Every Nigerian is rendered stateless by the 1999 Constitution. It is an iniquitous, wicked, and evil document. It has nothing good for the Nigerian people. And the longer we continue to fool ourselves believing, and let me enter one quick caveat. Our rulers are actually very intelligent when they care to be, especially when it comes to their own preservation. And I know as a fact that they're already making noises about restructuring in Abuja. The Mace Snatcher and the Lawan and that one that calls himself Baja, all of them are sat there running helter-skelter, cobbling together some lies that they intend to sell to us as constitutional, what do they call it, amendments. Let's be clear. You cannot continue to build on top of lies. You can't sustain that lie. And as long as justice is missing in a place, you continue to have strife. We need to tell ourselves the truth, and that truth is that the closest we can come to normalcy in Nigeria is to have a return to the original agreements that founded this country. Those.
You see, I did a video here one day. I talk about the mistake of Nigeria, and I had a lot of attack from some of my Igbo brothers. People knew where the error came. You just said it now. Say, if we are to make any progress, we have to return back to the original agreement of our founding fathers. There were people who founded this nation. They had a reason of them accepting the parliamentary system of government, of them accepting the regional system of government. They had a reason for it. They knew there are many nations that make up the nation Nigeria. Just like it is in the United States. So they understood the difference in our collective understanding. They created a platform that will be workable for every one of us to live together and yet operate separately. But that very particular system was truncated on January 15th, 1966, which has led us to where we find ourselves today. Let's continue, guys.
Agreements are very clear in their fundamentals. One of them, federal system. Nigeria is today not a federal system. Let's stop lying to ourselves. The word federal was brought to life by the American election. Each state has its own electoral body because it is essentially a country within a larger country. That was what our fathers...
See that now? The system that our father created, the system that our father agreed on before independence, was a country inside a larger country, like the American nation, like the United Kingdom. A country inside another country. That's why we have 4 regions. These regions were countries operating within a larger countries. That would have been the only way we would have developed without a problem. But that very particular system was truncated by the first military coup that brought us to where we are today. If we are still continuing in that realm, even within this region, we would have had states within our regions, but the states, the states would have been controlled by the region premier, like you have today in some part of a United Kingdom. Okay, so let's continue, guys.
Agreed. Nobody agreed a situation where a clueless man will sit down inside a rock and begin to issue edicts and diktats to every other person. Nobody signed on for that in 1960. All the constitutional conferences, beginning from 1948 all the way to the 1951, all the way to 1960, each and every one of them was very clear and unambiguous. Nigeria was meant to be a federal system based on parliamentary democracy. It wasn't by accident that our fathers settled on parliamentary democracy. They wanted to make democracy as close to the people as it could be. So it simply meant that if you're a parliamentarian, you knew your people knew you. It was the aggregation of the parliamentarians that determined who became the prime minister, and they were also the ones at the regional level who determined who became the premier. So
you see, I think that would have been the best for a country like us. I don't know what some of these leaders are afraid of, but I want to say, I think people should start listening to a man like this. If we really want to progress, except we want to actually dismember the country or turn Nigeria into another Afghanistan or Iran or Yemen or Syria, we should continue in this path we are going. We are all crying now of Fulani headers and many others. Before now, everybody had their own region where they stay. Even the time when the people talk about the ranches that was created in the past, it wasn't actually created for the Hausa because they were not actually here. The Southerners we actually raised their cattle also. So they had a ranch where they were working on. So the best would have been the parliamentary system of government, whereby the people take the decision from the bottom down to the top. Not like where we actually have now, where one man is not be seen as a god, as the monarch. The way they treat Buhari today. Everybody's afraid of what Buhari is going to say. No government want to do anything without not being careful. If Buhari is not going to take, a negative action over what he is about to say. Okay, guys. So that's not actually what our founding fathers bargained for. What they actually requested for was a system whereby they have the right, the legal right, to actually deal with issues that concern them by themselves. Okay? That would have helped in solving many of the problems that we find ourselves today. That was why before the 1960, there might be problem in Southwest. That problem does not actually involve or revolve around to other parts, but not like as it is today, where everywhere in the nation is engulfed with problems and war.
Democracy was devolved. It was easier for the people to become involved. What we have today is not a democracy. What we have today is not a federation. We've just become a nation of liars who readily accept every lie that we are told.
So we just a nation of liars who readily accept every lies that they have told. We have become a nation of liars who readily accepts every lies that they have told. And yet some of us, we complain when some of our type speaks also. I tell somebody today, if you can criticize Buhari at the federal level, and you do not criticize our governor on security matters in our state, putting all the blames on the federal government, then we don't know where we are going. Just like that guy from a civil society group said. He said, do not only engage the military personnel of the federal government, do not forget to engage your own local vigilante to that very particular task force who's going to implement this anti-open grazing law. We all must begin to fight to return back to that system. It's working not just for us alone, even our leaders who actually want to be leaders must start asking for us to return back to what is workable for us in a time like this. Now, this is another one again, Nigeria 2022 budget. Are you people aware, guys, that they are paying money I just said that the Aso Rock is paying money for Aso Rock landlord. In this budget now, they are paying 700 million or so for Aso Rock landlord. I don't actually know who owns Aso Rock. Please, I don't know if anybody knows who is the landlord of Aso Rock, please. Is anybody aware who is the owner of land of Aso Rock? Is anybody there who knows who the landlord of Aso Rock, please? Anybody? Anybody here? So I was surprised in that budget that I saw that they are 100 million naira to the landlord of Aso Rock as rent, 700 million. I also saw on that budget that Buhari actually budgeted 1.6 billion naira for cars for Aso Rock in 2022 budget. Guys, every year this guy buy cars. Every year they buy cars. And they will also budget for the repairs of the old cars. 1.6 billion was earmarked for new cars for the presidency. The money they are going to use to back up was more than the money they actually budgeted for the Aso Rock clinic. That is how bad the Nigerian government is. Thank God there is an APC member of House of Rep who came out to actually floor the government on the boring spray of President Muhammadu Buhari. I want to listen to him as we analyze what he said in this very particular interview that he granted.
Because if you look at the budget presentation, look at the debt service. The debt service is almost above capital. 3-point-something trillion. Why I say it's embarrassing is for the first 16 or to 25 years back, Nigerian money.
Guys, listen, borrowing money is not a crime. Okay? Never a crime. If you actually know what the money is being used for, how you know there was a train, one of the train that they just did now. I don't know whether it's in Odo or thereabout, which I don't know which state that was set on fire. So this back. About 2 months ago, there was also one of the train that was coming from Kaduna to Abuja that left the ray that was created and went into the bush. And we also know that a ray was being built from Nigeria to Niger Republic. And there was already a road that was being constructed now from Nigeria to Cameroon. And now when you borrow money, I think I just said today, I read on news today, Rotimi Amechi was saying the cost of maintaining the railways in a year is 11.6 billion naira. 11.6 billion naira cost of maintaining the railways. And the total income generation of the railways is 1.8 or 1.6 billion, if I'm not mistaken. But it's 1 point something. That 1.6, 1.8 billion naira. Then I ask myself one simple question. If you're going to maintain the railway for 11.6 billion yearly, and the income generated by the railway is 1.6 or 1.8 billion yearly, what is the rationale behind going into a business when you know the business is going to drag the nation down? And yet they are borrowing more money, trying to build more railways, when the income generated from the railway cannot be commensured with the capital spend, not to talk of the maintenance on a yearly basis. Now, this guy said during this second 2022 budget, the debt servicing is 3-point-something trillion naira from the entire, I think it was 10 trillion or so that Buhari actually brought before them. 3-point-something trillion was to be used in debt servicing. And where are the monies that these guys have actually stolen? Where have they kept all these monies? That's what he's going to talk about now. Saying in the last 15 to 20 years or so, there have been many monies that have been stolen by previous, administrations, and even this one. Hear what he said, guys.
And not keep it. Some they put our money like dead bodies in the grave. They buried our money. Some they carry our money abroad. Why can't the government make a strong interrogation and investigation team? Call back these people, investigate, bring back our money to implement the budget. We have to stop borrowing because we don't know tomorrow. That is my worry. If you look at an example, an estimate, a woman, a single person, the former petroleum minister, he went with $60 billion. That is 5 years budget.
Now, I'm going to talk about this woman, the former petroleum minister under Goodluck Jonathan, Dazini or Dizieni or whatever they call her. We're talking about $60 billion, $60 billion. And this thing the government have been saying with this for a very long time, since 2015. We're talking about that she has stolen so much money. And the truth of the matter is, this woman is not dead. She's alive. They've not done any extradition on her. They've not proven to the Nigerian people that she actually stolen so much. Nobody talks about the apartment, the money that was found in the apartment. Nobody talks about the money that was found in Kaduna airport. Nobody talk about the money that was found in a Sockaway in one of the northern states. Nobody talk about the money that was found in an aeroplane in Kaduna State anymore. You know, he's saying, why are we borrowing? When we borrow, the money is returned back to the pocket of these people. I just said now, Buhari came into power and he made 12 trillion debt as at 2015. In 6 years, the money had tripled. Today, Nigeria is now owing 36 trillion naira. 12 trillion it meant as debt. As between 6 years today, Nigeria is now owing 36 trillion naira as debt. And yet, they are still borrowing. Do you know what part of it? They borrow to pay salaries. They borrow to buy luxurious cars. They borrow to fly their girlfriends and all that to Dubai and other developed part of the world. And they will not leave the bill for the people coming in to pay. You see how myopic, wicked our leaders actually are. The money that these guys have actually borrowed, if it was invested properly, Nigeria would have been better than Dubai in the last 6 years of this administration. Quote me anywhere, guys. I just told you of the longest bridge today in the world is in China. It was actually constructed for 1.5 billion US dollar through the sea. But the rate that was constructed from Lagos to Warri is costing Nigeria 11 billion US dollars. Can you comprehend both? 1.5 trillion on a railway that linked 4 cities in China to one that is going to link only one city. The price is like 10 times the original price. If they actually borrow to develop, we don't have the problem today. But they borrow to steal and leave the nation in poverty. You're going to ask yourself, how did our naira fell so low that today Nigerian naira is the worst in Africa today? How do our society become the headquarter of poverty in the whole world? How do our society became the highest nation in Africa as far as insecurity is concerned? We are the second in the world after Afghanistan. So, but we are the first in the whole of Africa. Nobody talks about it. The leaders is not just about the president failure alone. The entire leadership structure in Nigeria has failed. They failed woefully. The entire structure of leadership in Nigeria, they failed woefully. The people, the citizens of Nigeria are also failing. They are just trying to be very careful because of their likeness for some people. They will not want to talk ill of them. Let's suppose to praise Buhari till tomorrow that he's doing very well. But thank God this is an APC guy who comes out today to say, no, this is wrong. Let's continue, guys.
5 years Nigerian budget, her alone, and there is thousands of her. If there is real investigation, there is thousands like her. So when we investigate, we can spend 20 years, next 20 years, we will not borrow. We will implement budget with our recovered money. So seriously, this government said they are fighting corruption. They are fighting corruption. But I never see fighting corruption. Because we are saying we are fighting corruption, but we are going very slowly, and we are saying by mouth, but we are not acting practically. If there is strong investigation, strong interrogation team in this country, I am sure we will not borrow any money.
That actually supports. The EFCC is not doing its job. The ICPC is not doing its job. You guys were also aware of a guy who they just cleared now on the Senate, on the floor of the Senate, who finished secondary school before he was born. There is a guy, one of these appointees of the president, I've forgotten his name, who the Senate just cleared about 3 weeks ago, that graduated from secondary school before he was born. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying now. Maybe he finished, let's say he finished 1995 from secondary school, but he was born in 1997. You get it now? So he was already a graduate before the mother gave birth to him. And yet, the senators still said "yo," and they confirmed him on the appointment that the president gave to him. We aren't fighting corruption. We are just doing lip service because everyone in the political circle today in the Nigerian state, because of the fake constitution that we are approaching today, are all greedy and corrupt people. The FCC is a toothless bulldog. The ICPC is a toothless bulldog. They actually use them to oppress oppositions. The DSS supposed to be a secret service intelligence unit of the government, is also not doing their jobs. That is why you see the Nigerian state is retrogressing instead of progressing. We almost rise up to defend this. Listen, the truth of the matter is this: if you like, break the nation today into 6 places, and we still have these crops of politicians, brother and sister. I tell you, we are still going to get the same result. Nothing's going to change. Nothing is going to change. We are still going to get the same result of these people. Do you know why? Because it is the same mindset that they are operating on now. They're going to use to operate the Biafra Republic, the Oduduwa Republic, the Arab Republic, the Niger Middle Belt, and the Niger Delta Republic. The same mindset, the same criminal minds that they're going to use. We must tell ourselves the truth, guys. Don't matter to be pretentious. Our leaders have failed us. They have made us to now become slaves in other man's land. Now we are not voluntary slaves. We now voluntarily come You know, during the slave trade, they were taking us to the river. Then they come to our state or to our nation and buy slaves. They ferry us to their nations at their cost. They feed us in their farms at their cost. They ask us in their farm at their cost. But in this present world, we go to them to beg. Sometimes we have to take the risk of going through the Mediterranean Sea. And we'll get there, we'll become slaves to them again. This is the creation of our leaders. Let's continue, guys.
Sadly, if you look at the issue of revenue. They say revenue formula is already gone down. Oil has already left off in many countries in the world. Oil has gone down. If we look at this country, before oil recovered in this country, we were implementing and running the government with the farming money generated through cotton and groundnut.
This is where some of us are coming in today. Because the money today, the economy of the world today is actually living the crude oil. Today, like I said, most of the buses in Sweden today are actually run by biogas. And the biogas is not from even the flare. The biogas is from waste products. Today, electric cars is becoming the order of the day that you can drive for 12 hours. 12 hours. 12 hours on electric cars before the battery will run down. 12 hours. So there's already a gradual process of the world leaving crude oil. What is the plan of all this government in diversifying the economy of Nigeria from this monopolistic economy into other areas? Forgetting or knowing fully well that the economy of Nigeria will collapse the moment oil stops to exist. This is where some of us are crying for the government, particularly the government of Edo State, where we belong, to enact a law in order to chase away this killer estimate from our forest, so that our families can return back to farming and prepare for the rainy day, where there will be no money again to pilot the affair of this nation. When some of us speak today, nobody will listen. A time will come, the government of Nigeria will have no money to run Nigeria anymore if we haven't started planning from now. Children have already said by 2035. By 2035, there will be no gasoline anymore. They will call benzene or fuel. There will be no gasoline, no benzene, no fuel car in Sweden anymore. All you're going to have is the biogas and the electric cars. What will not happen to our economy if the people actually buys our crude and no more willing to buy from us anymore? So when we talk, we are not just looking at today, we are looking at future of what the future entails for us as a people. We are borrowing upon borrowing. What do we invest it on? You are doing very well in the north by this high level of security. I don't understand. Let's continue, guys.
We use that money to explore oil. We use that money to get the oil while we abandon the farming. Look at our teeming youth going on employment. Look at our forest. Only criminals are living inside. Why can't we clear all this forest, allocated to our teeming youth, funded them, go for farming? If we can do this across the seas, our geopolitical zone, I am sure we will get money better than oil, and we will fund it budget without borrowing.
See what this is what I just said. This is what I've been saying since on this show. From the time I was a guest the Nigeria show today. This is what I've been saying, guys. This is what I've been saying, guys. This is what I've been saying. Nothing more. Nothing more, guys. There is nothing more I have been talking about. You just said it all. You just said it all. Why not let us create this avenue by returning back to the old status quo? And the only way we can do that, Mr. House of Rep member, is for us to return to the regional government again. Where the regions will take total control of their resources and make good use of them for the betterment of the people. This is one thing that I want us to start thinking about. You've spoken marvelously well, fantastically well. Let's return back to farming. We have no job for our teaming youth anymore. If we go back to farming, there are going to be more jobs. I've explained this in some of my videos. And now the government can actually create farming, cooperative farming that will help in reducing the stress of the people. This is what this guy is just saying right now, guys.
What's the most embarrassing is debt service. Look at the debt service. Finally, what I assume is why I say we have to recover our stolen money. We are paying debt to the money which is being stolen. Our team Nigerians never enjoy that money, and we are still paying debt. The money that we're supposed to complete our railways, our road, our education, our health, our security is going on debt. And this debt is in some individual pocket. Went to individual pocket. Go around this town, go around this country. Look at the type of mansion people are living in, a government officials, and they say they are fighting corruption. Go to Metama, go to Asokoro, go to Lagos, go to Port Harcourt. See people living in mansion and they are government officials. Is their salary get that mansion for them? And we say we are fighting corruption.
God will bless you, sir. God will bless you. You are a Muslim. Allah will bless you. I love people that speak truth to power. I don't like people that want to play. Listen, this guy is telling you today. These guys, how do they make this money to build this? They know themselves. You're a government official. You are building a home that worth ₦1 billion. He's asking them, where did you make the money? What kind of job did you do that warranted you to make such money? That was his question, guys. He wanted to know what exactly are the things that you have done or you are doing that actually gave you such massive wealth as a government official. If we talk, they will say, these guys you are attacking. I've asked a series of questions right from Lucky Benedion. We all know where Ogiamen is living. He had nothing. Yeah, we knew that Lucky Benedion father was rich before he came to power. But during the time Lucky Benedion was the governor of Edo State, he stole blindly. Pastor Sagizem stole blindly. Oshomole came into government. Oshomole stole Tripoli. Oshomole stole blindly, deftly, and creepily. Oshomole had nothing before he ventured into politics. But after just 8 years in the corridor of power, Oshomole became a multi-billionaire. Nana Obaseki is here. We know no politician's hands are clean as far as the Nigerian setting is concerned today. We can't judge Obaseki now because he has not left power yet. When he leaves power, we will not know how much he has actually done to the psychic of the Edo people. This criminality is one thing that is actually destroying the fabric of the Nigerian state. It's just been plain in this interview that is actually granted to Liberty TV. On what is actually the problem of our nation. And our people. And the worst part, we celebrate these people. We celebrate these people who we cannot actually explain their source of wealth. We praise them, we celebrate them. And ignore those people who work hard to manage themselves. Rather for us to praise those ones, we actually insult those ones. We feel they are not working. Even our parent does it also. Mabere Osadelo, Mabere Osapolo, Mabere Osamuyi, Nobayabala, Mabere Mabere Imotinya, Izoduwa, Igyoduwa, Osazuwa. You know, they want to compare you to people, but not you actually knowing how these people actually made their wealth. It's unnecessary competition that's actually led Nigerians to the state we are today. Let's continue, guys.
We are really fighting corruption in this country. We will not borrow money to fund. It's an embarrass. I am worried. Even my blood pressure go high as I had the debt service. 3.something trillion debt service. Why people are suffering in this country? Some are living with 1 square meal. They eat once. So if we can do a proper, strong anti-corruption, not this by mouth, we act it practically. If you go, you can see a 1 billion mansion owned by a government official. And they say that we are fighting corruption. Salary of his 1,000 yen. Did he serve for 1,000 yen? He served for 35 years. Where did he get 1 billion mansion? If we are serious, you can see still person serving inside the government, owning a big house, billions, estate. You can see business places here, owned by government officials. And we say we are fighting corruption. We are joking. We are joking. So it's embarrassed. So we have to educate our teaming people. We have to educate our people. We have to force the government. And I am advising to Mr. President to look at this, my advice. We have to go back to strong interrogation and investigation team that we will investigate and bring back our looted money to stop borrowing. To stop borrowing. That is my
Sir, please,
Thank you very much.
your name, please.
My name is Honorable Mohammed Gudaji Kazaure, and also a speaker of the masses. That is my name.
Representing you.
Representing Kazaure, Roni, Wiwa, and Enkwashi. I'm from Jigawa State. That is representing 4 local government. One of the largest constituents in the country.
Thank you very much, sir.
So, guys, this is actually created to Liberty TV, like I just said before. Now, this is a guy that I love so much. You know, I love It might not be very eloquent in English. Like I said in one of my videos, I think I did a video before that I said maybe I'm going to upload it one day and play it here. Is it speaking English? An issue. It's my video. I'm going to play it right here. I'm going to play it. I'm going to also analyze my video, guys. I did a video on that on English language. I'm going to play it on this show one of these days and play it up for you to see, to listen to. This guy, his English was not okay, but what he was saying made a lot of sense. He might not be so good in English language, but the guy was hitting the nail on the head. Like I always tell people, that's why I was telling somebody who told me that basically needs to get the most educated. I said, come on, what is the definition of education to you? You should ask people what it takes. Katinosa was not educated. He's the richest Benin man. Benin was not educated, but he's the richest Benin man here today. Okay? Many of these people actually, maybe we are not actually educated. So education, these 4 walls of the classroom is not the definition of education. I'm going to play that video, like I'm going to do it maybe tomorrow morning before the question and answer time. I'm going to play that video again. I'm going to upload it in, play the video in, and analyze some of the things that I said on that video. Okay, guys, it will be my video. Repeat it again for us to see why English should not be the basis. This guy is better. This guy ought to be the speaker of the house, not even Femi Bajamila, who speaks English but is a criminal, who does not care about the people. Look at the guy. He was so much constructive in what he was saying. He had everything put in place but for himself. This isn't working. Borrowing and paying service of 3.something trillion when you don't even know what the money is being used for. If you borrow money and you invest the money into some kind of business that in the next 2-3 years is going to yield you money, like Dangote is doing today, fine and good. Okay? That's fantastic. No problem. Like I borrowed some money sometime, a lot of money here in Sweden, close to I think I borrowed about 2 million Swedish crown. That's about 200,000 euros some time ago to invest into some certain things, properties here and there, and all that and that. Yeah, that is an investment that I know is going to yield me result. Okay, guys. And at the time I sold one of the property, I was able to offset all the bills once. All the bills once. Just the property that I bought after about 9 or 10 years was able to offset all the bills that I hold in this country in one day. That is quite understandable right now. But not when you are borrowing for consumption, like I want to borrow now to go and eat. Come on. How can I pay back such loan? It's not possible. I can't pay back. So I'm already impoverished. Generations coming after me. But if the money is invested, there are assets that you can sell or you can loan out to regain the money to pay your debt. That's what I'm saying. Instead of you borrowing for consumption, why not let us take back that which you have put in your pocket? The Nigerian government, they borrow to put in their pocket, guys. We've heard of the 30 billion water storm today. We've heard of the central hospital, 5-star central hospital. But today, by now, I was expecting to have seen, the white paper that people are being persecuted for stealing our commonwealth. But we're not hearing anything, guys. That's the issue. We knew of Ogiamen mansion in Benin. We know of Ogiamen mansion in Iyamo. We know of Ogiamen mansion in Abuja. We know of Ogiamen mansion in Cape Verde. But who is going to talk about it? Nobody. Do you know why? Because they are all one and same. Everyone that is there today, when they know their hands are clean, so they will not want to talk about anything corruption. Because they know when they leave, the kind of worms of them will also be exposed for the world to see. It's difficult that we can actually progress beyond where we are right now. Because the people we call our leaders are not ready yet to try to change the equation, the narratives that's on ground. They aren't ready. They aren't ready yet. The constitution is so bad, just like what Dele said today, Farotimi. It is so bad that the constitution is so awkward, is so flawed that even the best brain on earth, if operating on that constitution, will never ever succeed. But because the corrupt nature, because the corrupt mindset of our leaders, they've refused, knowing fully well, they all understand that the problem of Nigeria is the constitution. Say the constitution actually makes us classless, no, stateless. It makes us stateless in our country. But they have refused to sit down and say, we need to change this status quo. Because why? It benefits one or two of them. So they are holding on to that benefit that they are getting at the detriment of the larger population. And when people like us speaks, they do everything to make sure they shut us up. But we'll not keep quiet. We'll continue talking. The reason why we have to continue talking is that's the only thing we have. If the government is not careful, if the government refuses to do the needful, we'll play you the last video for tonight. If the government is not careful, if the government refuses to do the needful, this is what they are going to experience. A war. It will be an outbreak of like what is happening today in Cameroon. Going to be a bloodshed. It's not going to be about agitation alone. The Nigerian state is already collapsing. Sorry, guys. Nigerian state is already collapsing as we speak. This is what. Just look at this, guys. Look at this video. Then I will round off for today. Just look at this video, guys. Look at this video. Listen, guys. This is not a movie. So that's why you see sometimes when I talk about the Southeast, to be careful. When I talk about the government of Nigeria, to be careful, not to drag the youth into harm taking. When I talk about the Nigerians, to be careful, not to drag the youth into harm taking. This is what is happening today in one part of Cameroon, particularly the Southern Camerooners, who were actually part of the Nigerian state before they left and joined the French Cameroons. Okay, these are youth now that have taken arms against their state. And you know today, this entire street whereby there's a gun battle now has been deserted. Nobody lives on this place, on this part anymore. I do not know what the government is thinking. The entire northern state is already like this. In the north of Nigeria, you already have this. The northeast, you have this. The northwest, you have this. The north central, you have this. The southeast, right now, you have this. You let two zones now that this is not happening rampantly. Is the south and the southwest. But in the south and the southwest, you also have, some pockets of crime like kidnapping. and all that and that. Okay, guys, but where guns are being carried by youth, and there's a display of weaponry. It's already in 4 of the 6 zones, or the 4 of the 6 zones, yes, that makes up the Nigerian state. And this is fearful to many of us who understood that war is not even the option. That's why we are calling on the government of Nigeria. We are calling on the governors of each of the 36 states that make up the federation to sit tight and begin to look at the plight of the people. If we continue in this manner, in this form, we'll end up not having a country to call our home. Every of these things you start where you see most of them, they fly out. Like, what is the name of this man? Tinubu was in London for an operation. This is a man that wants to become the president of Nigeria. As wealthy as he is, Tinubu could not even afford to build a well-standard hospital in Nigeria. Oshomole went and bought an hospital for his son, his first son, who is a medical doctor in Texas. He refused to build the hospital in Nigeria. You see, these people do not have us. They don't like us for whatsoever reason. So they don't even care if we are dying just the way these people are right now. Just imagine the kind of weaponry that is in the hands of these people. Do you know it will take the grace of God, even if they succeeded in today in getting what they want? Some of these people today who came together, there are different forces that really came together to fight for their freedom. If they get their freedom today, it will take the grace of God for them to be peace because of the arms and ammunition that's already in the hands of the youth. So let's continue watching the video and see what is happening here, guys. Guys, I need to end this video here because I want to plead with the Nigerian government to listen to what this honorable I just said. I want to listen to them and try to do the needful in making sure that these people are arrested. Let strong laws be made. Everyone who actually stolen our commonwealth, let them be dealt with. Let justice, equity, and fairness become the watchword. Let's change the narrative and create a very robust economy that will better the loss of everyone. The life will be more enjoyable if you guys allow us to be free. You're going to live your life more better than putting us in a bus. This is the truth of the matter, guys. I'm calling on the governor of Edo State. Based on the town hall meeting you had today, what the Edo people wanted is enact a law not to drive the Fulani ways, enact a law for open grazing, to ban open grazing and encourage ranching. Let every Fulani man or every elder, not your Fulani, both the traditional elders and the Fulanis, so as a matter of fact, let them go and start building ranches. Give them time, 3 months, 6 months, for them to just go and start building the ranches before the law will be, forcefully. Before the law, the law will not be, sorry guys, before the law will not be forcefully accepted or enacted into law. Okay, guys? So this is just the truth, guys. We need to wake up and actually come out to do the needful by making sure that we do the right thing to change the narratives of things. Okay, guys. Thank you very much for tonight. This is the news for tonight, guys. And I want to say tomorrow, 7 o'clock is question and answer time with Human Steven. We're going to continue talking on what we do and how we can make Edo State great again. So please tell your friends, tell your loved ones, share the video. Let's have ourselves together. Let's come and really talk on how we can build and promote our people. Like I said, tomorrow also I'm going to do a video. I'm going to upload a video of what I said about English language. That's not our cultural, language. So if you don't speak English, for me, I don't have a problem with that. So just know how to communicate. In any way you can communicate, pidgin, fantastic. Your dialect, fantastic. But just be constructive and let what you say make sense to other people. Thank you very much, guys. I don't know if there's any question tonight. Any question, any contribution, you're free to call in if you have anything to say, guys. You're free to call in. If you call into the show, I'm going to give you just 9 minutes as I run off today. I need to go and do something tonight. Any question? Okay, guys. I guess of no question, no contribution. I want to say a very big thank you to you all. We see tomorrow by His grace, if God's willing. Thank you for your time. I want to appreciate you. Myself and Nigeria was want to say a very big thank you to every one of you for the support you have been rendering to us in this very critical time. We have promised you we'll always give you the best. We will never compromise, our faith on what we believe in. We'll continually to defend you guys and make sure that all that you guys wanted from us will be done without even thinking about it. So your concern, your demands is our first priority. So we are for the people, we are behind the people, and we'll continue to speak for the people. We're going to be the voice of those who can speak. We're going to stand in the gap for others so that we can be able to deliver on the dividends of justice, fairness, and equity based on our capacity as a team and as a media house. I say thank you all and for the trust, the confidence you have in us. We believe we will never fail you as far the God of heaven liveth. God bless you all. Have a very nice day and bye for now.
Go ahead.